Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Midnight Makes. This is my little corner of the internet where I talk about what I've been knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching, sewing, whatever other crafty hobby I happen to be up to a little bit. That's my dog over there. She is currently watching the fish in my tank swim around, and she's getting a little too close to the fish tank. So my name is Denali, aka Midnight Makes. So I've had a few new subscribers since the last couple videos, and it's been a minute since I've introduced myself, so I figured I would go ahead and reintroduce myself. I'm Denali. I live in Anchorage, Alaska with my husband, my son, our sausage dog, who is sitting on the back of the couch staring at the fish tank, and our menagerie of aquatic animals that we currently have. My son and I both have fish tanks. Like I said, I'm a knitter. I sew. I'm currently working on my own sewn wardrobe. I'm wearing nothing me made today except for my earrings. I did make these earrings quite a while back. Other than that, I am wearing a t-shirt from the Philippines that my husband's coworker brought back from her last trip over to see her family. And that's, wearing store-bought pants because I just threw on the first thing I saw this morning. But I am slowly working on a handmade wardrobe. Knitting is my main hobby, though I have been doing a lot of sewing and cross-stitching. Not so much crochet. I actually don't have any crochet to show today. I really haven't been doing too much crochet as of late anyways. I'm also a reader. That's about all I have about me. You can find me on the socials, Instagram, Ravelry, all that. I think all of my socials are Denali C 907. I think on Instagram it's Denali C _ 907. I will put them right here. They will also be linked in the description box below if you are one of those people that like straight links. I have hair in my face and it's driving me nuts. I apologize if you hear any loud sounds. They are out mowing the lawn outside, mowing our courtyard, and I have closed the window, and I did wait until they were further away, but it's still kind of loud. So anyways, admin stuff. Last week's episode, I apologize for the audio, or not last week, 2 weeks ago. I do these every 2 weeks. Last episode, I apologize for the audio. YouTube loves to do this thing where they screw with your audio when you upload. So usually I crank the audio up in my editing software before I export it. I forgot to do that last week, so that's why the audio was like super low, even though I have a mic, it works. It's just YouTube likes to screw with the audio. So I apologize for that. I have a note now on my iPad so that I do not forget to always crank the audio. Okay. I apologize for the sniffling. I have allergies, so many allergies, and it is still kind of summer in Alaska. It's very summer right now. It's very hot in here, which is not helping with the window being open or closed, but I'll deal. Anyways, let's get in to finished objects. So I actually have quite a few finishes this week, and I actually have a FFO, which is mostly a thing in the cross stitching floss tube world, and it's a fully finished object. So cross stitches are considered finished when you finish working on them, but it's not considered an FFO until it's framed or mounted or whatever you plan to do. I have a tendency not to frame my stuff. I have like a couple pieces that I've put in hoops, of a couple pieces that I've framed. Mostly the stuff that I've framed has gone as a gift, but I think mostly I cross stitch just for the sake of cross stitching. And at the moment, I have like 2-gallon Ziploc bags just full of cross stitch projects that are finished, but I have an FFO. But I decided to FFO this one as soon as I got it back because it was a round robin thing that I was doing with a group on Instagram. So it's really awesome. Instagram cross stitcher set up a round robin group with a bunch of us, and we each, the way a round robin works is everybody picks a piece, they start that piece, and then they send it off to other people. And a lot of ink circles are for like 4 equal parts, and 3 other people work on it. Eventually you get the project back and you also work on other people's. And especially where like my project was 4 parts that are exactly the same, you don't end up having to stitch the same motif 4 times. You'll have to stitch it once. And I have done, so in our group we had a bunch of projects that were 4 quarters, and then a couple projects that were 12 parts, and everybody's going to get a chance to work on the 12-part pieces. On the quarters, it's only 3 people other than the person that started it. I have worked on all of my quarter pieces and 2 of the 3 12 parts, and the last 12 part is actually going to be mailed to me to she's mailing it out today. So I'm super excited to work on that. But my pick for our round robin was Elegant Squid, which is in ink circles. I apologize for any glare. I did choose to leave the glass in on this picture frame. So as you can tell, there are 4 equal parts. And I mean, I love this one, so I would have stitched it anyways. But because it was a round robin, it worked perfectly where I only had to stitch the squid. I only had to stitch the squid once. So these are not the colors for ink circles. The pattern, they're not even the DMC conversion that she lists. I chose to do my own conversion because I love the Humboldt squid or the Red Devil squid. If you don't know about them, I highly recommend looking them up. But I wanted my squid to be red. So I opted for DMC 666 because Red Devil, even though DMC 666, I believe, is like Christmas red, is what they call it, but everybody in the cross stitch community knows what it really is. And then I chose a light blue for the swirls in the background. I wanted something that contrasted heavily but didn't take away from the squid, and I really love this blue color. I'm looking at my notes on my iPad and did not write down the number for the blue. I think it was 828. I'm not sure. This is an 18 count white Ada that I picked up either Michael's, Joann's, rest in peace, or Walmart. Because Walmart does sell this 18 count, at least ours here do. Again, sorry for the glare. It's already framed, but oh, I love it so much. Um, I made an Instagram post about this after I finished it or framed it, and linked is everyone that worked on it. So if you want to go check them out, their Instagrams are linked in my Instagram post. Okay, so my next finish is was is was a test knit for Amanda Lee, or Lovely by Lee on Instagram, and this is the Tank. Allium Tank. The pattern is not out yet. It will be out in September, but this turned out so good. It is a tank top with a ruffle on the side. The pattern comes with different ruffle options. There's the regular one for the pattern, which is just on the just in the sleeve portion from like here to here. I opted for the super ruffly version, which the ruffle goes from the ribbing all the way up to the top of the sleeves and then all the way down to the ribbing on the other side. I will put photos in of me wearing it. I actually got photos this week. Hey! And the buttons that I added are mother of pearl buttons, shaped like flowers. They came from a bag of buttons that I got at the thrift store. And this yarn is from Baba Yarn Studios. They are an Alaskan. I know I have. There we go. They are an Alaskan dyer in Fairbanks, and I got this yarn at Yarn Over, which is the local yarn store in Fairbanks. And the color is Raven, and I absolutely love this color. I love this tank, and I paired it with a pair of black cigarette pants, which I will be showing soon. Um, and they work so good together. I actually tucked in, there's a like 10 inches of ribbing on the bottom of this, and I actually tucked it in into the pants, and that's like my favorite way to wear it. Like I said, I will put in photos, and this will probably be a go-to outfit when it's cool or when it's warm. But this one turned out beautifully, and I'm so glad I got to test it. Again, it is not out until next month. I will post in my Instagram stories when it is out. So my next finish is the black pants that I had in the photo. So these are the Audrey cigarette pants. It is a pattern from Charms by Gertie. This is a Patreon exclusive pattern. They have big old pockets, and this is the capri length with the eyelets and a little lacing. This is just a faux leather ribbon that I got off of the Jungle website. But I absolutely love how these turned out. And this is a little um, ribbon that I got, I believe, from Michael's. And I absolutely love the way these turned out. These are actually my second pair of the Audrey cigarette pants. I'll show the other pair next. I am not doing this in order. Um, but these ones are by far my favorite. I like the other ones that I made, but you'll see why they're not exactly my favorite. Um, and I opted for the non, just to do the fabric for the little tummy support, pocket support thing instead of the power mesh, mainly because on my other pair, which I'll get to, I had power mesh issues. So, these are ridiculously comfortable. It's a stretch fabric with a elastic waistband. Like I said, big pockets, and I absolutely love the way these fit. And I plan to make all of the pairs in all of the colors. I definitely want another pair in black, but the ankle length. This fabric I got at Joann's, rest in peace, when they were going out of business. It was one of the fabrics that I got. I don't have a lot of stretchy fabric that really works for these pants because it needs to be a little bit stiffer than your typical like t-shirt fabric. I mean, I guess you could still do it with t-shirt fabric, but yeah, I love these. Pictures will have been inserted. So the other pair of Audrey cigarette pants were the first pair that I did, and um, these are them. This is why I said these aren't like my favorite. It's mostly because this fabric is very loud. I'll put it in pictures, but I do love it. I paired it with my next finished object, and I don't think it worked very well. I think this would be much better with like a black top, something that um, doesn't, something calm from these. So pattern matching. I pattern matched on the back decently well. Um, there are pleats here, but the back, like mostly decently well, which I'm not really good at pattern matching. 98% of the time, I don't give a crap. And then the front, I was off, but whatever. It doesn't bother me. Even if they were like way off, I would not care. Um, so I opted for the power mesh on the inside for the little like tummy support, pocket support thing. And oh my god, I hated the power mesh. I had a really hard time sewing it, hence why it kind of sticks out of the pockets. Even though I did all of the understitching, all of the pressing, this side is much better, but this side just. But this is the side that I keep my phone in, so it pulls down more. I did the ankle length version. There's no rivets, no um, lace like the ribbon on the other pair. These are just a simple pair, which again, I do love and I will 100% be wearing. I just don't think it paired well with the other finish that I was taking pictures with. And that was mainly because I was being lazy and I wanted to do as little changing as possible for my photographs yesterday because I was tired and I wanted to take a nap and do fun stuff instead of taking photos. Um, so my next finish is another test knit, and it is also for Amanda Lee, Lovely by Lee, and this is the book club vest. And it actually will be released before the allium tank, but still in September. So this is, I forgot. Okay, so this fabric I got at Fields Fabric in something Lake, Spring Lake. I don't remember. Um, we got it in Michigan. We went to Grand Haven to the Toasted Pickle and the Grand Haven Lighthouse. And on the way back, we stopped at Fields Fabrics, which Spring Lake, I don't know. I'll put it here. Um, so that's where this fabric came from. The power mesh came from the Jungle website. So this is my book club vest, and it is stripy and gorgeous. And if you watched my last podcast update, I showed this in black and white because I wanted it to be kind of a secret for my colors, but I am so happy with how my colors and my color choices worked out. And I love how I opted to do the striping. Um, so this is a bottom-up vest with um, a V-neck on the collar, but also on the sleeves. And I absolutely love this little detail on the sleeves. Usually you just do round. So it was super fun to do that little V neck on the sleeves. Um, this one was like super fun to knit. I was knitting and just wanting to see what the next stripe was, and the next stripe was. So I did crop this a little bit, just because I want to wear it with high-waisted outfits. I have a high-waisted skirt that I haven't finished. We'll get there. Um, that this will look perfect with, and that's what I wanted to wear it with for the photos, but again, not finished. So there's also a split hem, and it just turned out beautifully. The only issue that I had, which isn't really an issue, it's just me trying to be lazy. Um, because I had big sections between my color changes, I had so many ends to weave in. Um, this is another reason why I don't like scrappy projects that use a bunch of different colors, because ugh, I don't like weaving in ends, especially the amount of ends that I had here. Some of the colors I could carry, like this gray, I was able to carry it over, and the speckled white, I was able to carry it over. But then other ones, like this gray to this gray, that would have been way too long. So I sucked it up and um, woven a ridiculous amount of ends, but so worth it. I love the way this one turned out. And again, I think this would actually look really good with the black Audrey cigarette pants. I just didn't try it that way. Um, but yes, I love it. All right, now let's talk about the yarn, because there's a lot of yarn there. So let me get all my bands out. Okay, so the brown, which was my main color for the ribbing and also was used throughout for striping, is Knit Picks DK in the color Pinecone Heather. The sorry, this dark gray is Agnes Old Times in the color JC26. I don't know where I got this online somewhere. I have no idea. It's been a while since I got it. This gray, purple, blue color, I love this color. I wish I had more of it, but I don't. Is from Lovebird Lane in the color How's the Serenity. The white with speckles is Madeline Tosh and Tosh Vintage in the color Found Pottery. Okay. And then the blue and the gray are both Plymouth Yarns, Plymouth Select Yarns. This says worsted weight, but it is the same thickness as all the other DK weight yarns. I don't know. It's weird how sometimes things are labeled one way and they're not. So, and the blue is gone. I don't know which one is which because they're color numbered. One is color 55 and one is 71. That's the gray. The blue is rolled all the way away. So that'll be a later's problem. And those are the yarns that I used on this, and they turned out so good. I am so glad. I actually did not have this blue picked out. I had all the other ones picked out, and then I got two right here, and I decided I needed just a little bit more of a color pop. The white is obviously, the white speckle is obviously the color pop, but I wanted something more. I love blue. I picked out a couple different blues and let my husband choose which one, and he made a great choice because I absolutely love this, and I will be wearing it as soon as it's not a million degrees. It's actually not here. It's like in the 60s Fahrenheit, this much Celsius. But I'm on these wonderful antidepressants and anxiety meds, which make it so that I can't control my body temperature and I sweat constantly. So, okay. The next, actually, the last finish that I have is another project bag. Last episode, I had 2 project bags that I had made, and I made another one. It's from the same pattern, the K2 bag, K2, K2. I found this fabric at Michael's. It was a fat quarter, and I loved it. So instead of doing the accenting base color like last time, I decided to just do the entire thing in this fabric because I love it. And then I just used a black for the band on the top. This currently doesn't have the little scrunchies in it just because I was being lazy and haven't put it in yet. But I haven't actually used it yet. There's actually a project that I just put in there, so I will probably put the leather strapping on as well. Other than the only using one fabric, the only other modification I made is I left off the handle for this one. I don't mind just carrying my bags around with the leather ribbon thing, faux leather, whatever it is. So that's how I plan to carry this one around. Though I do love the handles, I just wanted one without a handle. So that's all my finishes. I have a whole bunch of sewing projects that are like this close to being done, but I have learned recently that I don't like doing the finishing parts on sewing. So I have a blouse that just needs the buttons and buttonholes done, but I don't feel like doing buttons and buttonholes. I also have a skirt that just needs the hem and the waistband to be like closed up on the inside. And then I have a dress that is just needs buttons and buttonholes. If you're sensing a theme, I don't like doing buttons and buttonholes, which is stupid because I have a sewing machine that you set the stuff in the computer and it basically just does it for you. But I just don't feel like doing it. But honestly, all those projects would take me like maybe an hour to finish, which I will eventually get around to doing, just not right now. Okay, so let's move on to my whips. Okay, so the first whip I have is nearly done, and that is Gress, the Gress top by Rebecca Clove Crabe. I'll put it in here. I am doing the sleeveless little tank vest version, and I have the entirety of the body done. I just need to pick up and knit the little arm bands. I already knit the neckband, but it just needs the arm bands. Um, this actually was like a super quick knit, it seeing as it's, you know, very holy. It knits up really fast, and I've been enjoying working on it. I just, instead of picking up and knitting the sleeves, I cast on to other projects because finishing. But I love the way this one's coming out. Like I said, I'm doing the vest version, and the yarn I am using is, I lost my, it is the Made with Love Lion brand with, it's the Lion brand collab with Tom Daly. And this is the cottony one in the color Olive Twist. It is I just threw my, it is a 60% cotton, 40% acrylic blend, and I really love the feel of it. It definitely feels like a cotton, but it doesn't feel like the stiff cottons like sugar and cream, like cotton that you use for like dishcloths and stuff. But I love it, and I will be finishing it off in the next couple of days. Um, the needles that I needed for this, I used to cast on another project, and that was just for the neckline. Now that the neckline is done, I can pick up these sleeves and knit them. It'll probably take me an hour. The longest part is going to be picking up the stitches, not even knitting it, but I'll get there. Okay, my next whip is, sorry, I got a text message, which I can see on my iPad. My next whip is the, I did not add this to my notes. I didn't add either of my next two projects to my notes because I forgot to update them. Oops. This is the Sheep Camp Sweater by Jennifer Berg. She is known as the Native Knitter on Instagram, and I absolutely love this pattern. It, as soon as I saw it, I bought it immediately. and then ordered the yarn, and then I've been sitting on the yarn for like a year and a half. But I'm finally knitting it, and I am absolutely in love with it. So I went for some like a little bit different colors. I don't know if it's different, but it's just they're more me, and they're two colors that I absolutely love and love together. So the main color is Knit Pick Swish DK in the color Pinecone Heather. This is the same one that I used as the browns here. I actually have a lot of this color because I really enjoy it. I've knit it into a couple different patterns now. And then my accent color for the color work is this Knit Pick Swish DK in the color Gulf Stream. So I love the combination of browns and blues together. But I wasn't sure if this was going to look good. Then I casted it on and it looks amazing. I love it. So I am only about a third of the way through the color work section, and it's a round yoke, round color work yoke, and I absolutely love the way this is coming out. I love these two colors together, and I cannot wait to wear this. This will be probably my go-to sweater this fall and winter when I get it done, of course. So, like I said, I'm about a third of the way through the color pattern, and this is just it's so beautiful. I love these colors together. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I it's my favorite. And it just has a rolled collar, and yep. So my last whip I cast on last night. I have not gotten very far, and that is the Louise pullover by Sari Nordlund. This is a pattern, one of two patterns that she released in collaboration with Hobie. And you can get the pattern free on the Hobie website. And I love this pattern. It's a very simple knit, except for the front panel, and then you get your cables and everything, and it looks gorgeous. So I cast that on, and I'm knitting it in this Cascade Yarns Refine. This is 100% recycled material, so it's 75% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, and 5% viscose. And it's, I don't know if you can see, but it's like a gray, but like a whitewashed jeans blue gray, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm not good at explaining colors. So I hope you understand. If you can't understand, maybe you can see it. I'm not very far. You cast on, this is the back neck, and then you increase, and I've not finished my increases for the back panel. It's a pretty normal drop shoulder technique. It's one that I do, that Sari Nordlund does a lot. So does Rebecca Clow did it with this pattern, and so does I don't remember her name. Petite Knit. She also does that, where you start at the back, increase, work down until you get to the underarms, and then you increase, then you pick up stitches and work this way. If you've knit a sweater before, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I apologize. I am terrible at explaining things. I actually have one more. I said this was my last whip, but that's not true. I have one more. Um, so my son went back to school on Friday, and I didn't have any projects that didn't require too much thinking. Um, I didn't have like a car school pickup line knit. I don't get stuck in the school pickup line for very long, so I need something simple, something that I can put down when he comes, pick up easily, and not have to think. So I decided to cast on the simple mittens, mittens from Tin Can Knits. I don't remember the name. I will put right here. And I like the Tin Can Knits patterns because they have their own app. And so I have it on my phone. I have the pattern on my phone. All I have to do is scroll through. It shows only the numbers for the size that I'm doing. And this is a free pattern, so it's a simple one. I just wanted to get started on something, and I'll put in a picture of how far I got. I cast on, and I think I knit 2 rows of ribbing. That was it. That was just all the time I had for Friday's pickup. Um, it'll probably be something where it'll be my car project for probably a good few months because I won't have a lot of time to work on it. Next month though, my son starts back with life groups, and my husband and I will have date nights, and I usually take a knitting project with me there, and I like a simple one, so I will probably end up taking that. The yarn I'm using for it is a Hobie Halloween sock. It's from the Halloween sock collection a couple of years ago. Um, if I remember, I'll put a picture. Actually, I probably won't because I'm going to edit this before I go to pick up my son, and my project's in the car, which is why I'm not showing it. And I'm not going down to get it. So, um, those are all my whips. So, the last thing I want to talk about is as for whips, the last thing I want to talk about. So, the last 2 episodes, I have been doing a whip down spin. I have a wheel with all of my lingering whips. Um, Last episode, I spun this one. It's a cross stitch. I never worked on it. I had absolutely no desire to work on it. So this is going in my UFO bin, and eventually I will either find it a new home or something, but this really is not my aesthetic anymore. I talked about it last episode. All I need to do is add the words right here. It's supposed to say I read so I don't kill people. Um, the pattern originally said I cross stitch. I wanted read. I had to chart it. I still need to chart it. I needed to chart some like little books or something, but I don't care for it. So it's going in my UFO bin. I might have someone adopt it. Who knows? Anyways, okay. So that's all I've got to share. I don't really have any plans. I'm going to work on my sheep camp sweater, my Louise pullover, and I'd like to finish my grass um, little tank. But other than that, I don't really have any plans for the next couple weeks. We'll see what happens. And I am not going to be spinning a whip down project for this week just because I don't feel like it. And it's my game, my rules. So Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in this world.